Did you guys ever play against each other?
No.
I'm not talking about the major leagues. Did you guys? Because it's 30 of y'all. You know how many baseball teams y'all can put together in y'all family?
Dude, I kick his ass every day in golf.
Y'all
every
family,
time we play
man.
golf, we play golf, and I bust that ass.
Hey, man, if you know anybody, I'm going to tell you, a guy can't beat me when he's about to chip and he says move out the way because it might go that way. So he can't beat. I've been eating off him for a long time, dude. I've been saving my meal money for a long time, dog. Welcome to Life After Sports 23. My cousin, sometimes my hero. No, I love him. I mean, he's one of the reasons I did play baseball, even though we grew up playing. Jerry Royster, welcome to the show.
Good to be here. Good to be here.
All right, Jerry.
About time you guys got me on this thing.
Well, I had to pick my spots, man.
I understand.
I had to pick my spots.
Give us some background, Greg. So he's your cousin, but give us the accolades here.
No, but I mean, Jerry. Growing up, Jerry played all the sports. You know, Uncle Jimmy, his dad. You know, you got to remember, we're probably 10 years, 11 years apart.
12 years apart, I think.
12 years apart. And so when Jerry was playing in high school, Friday night football and basketball and baseball, I was a little head. They got to run around and, me, Ricky, and all the rest, a lot of boys in our family. So, it was just like a family reunion. And I remember one time when Jerry left, he got drafted out of high school, Sac High Dragons in the house.
Hey, fight Dragons, fight.
Same high school KJ went to. You know what I mean? So Jerry got drafted, and Jerry went to the big leagues pretty quick after you got drafted. And
Right after high school, and 2.5 years later, I was in the major leagues.
Yeah, she was in the major leagues, and then they came to San Francisco, so all of us go down there, and him and Uncle Roland office,
Right.
McClatchy lying in the house. Much love, Roland. But it was funny because, you go up to the locker room, and you go down on the field, and hey, come in the locker room. I was like, I'm used to like football locker rooms, like all you see is tape and Gatorade and water. This looked like 7-Eleven, dog. I thought 7-Eleven. They had ice cream, they had food, they had gum, candy, sodas. And I was like, this is every day? Damn. He said, yeah, you get this every day. I said, shit, I'm going to play baseball, dog.
That's so easy.
What year are we talking about here? So you said 2 years after
I
graduation?
From high school a long time ago, 1970.
It was way after that because I was only like 3 then, so.
Yeah, 19. You wasn't 3, bro.
He's 11.
Yeah. I was 20 years old. I was 20 years old when I made it to the major leagues. So
you were 20 years old when you made it to the majors.
Yes, and that was my very first year. But these knuckleheads didn't start coming until it was like
teenagers, yeah.
Not really. Probably around 10 or 11.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. When you're 20, I was 8. So.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah. But like I said, man, I was in awe. I was like, they have a 7-Eleven every day. Every day you get to come into 7-Eleven. You know what I mean?
Right.
And,
as a kid, that's a big thing.
Yeah. You imagine as a 10, 12-year-old, you're like, you guys get this every day? So.
Shoot. Then I was Uncle Jerry, though. I was Uncle Jerry.
Yeah, he was Uncle Jerry.
Now, he hung around long enough, and he started playing, then we became cousins.
well, Greg, was that a driving force that gave you the drive to get to the major leagues by watching your cousin, your so-called uncle, someone that close man in your life make it to the major leagues? Did that drive you?
Well, I think we all had the dream because that's all we did was play sports. No matter what. We always all played sports, but that's just a funny story I tell. Mm-hmm. But everything was a competition, man. Whether it was Thanksgiving, whether it was whatever was going on, Christmas, Thanksgiving, there was games going on, and you got to remember, dude, there's like 30 boys on this side of the family.
Wow,
what I mean?
See that's a lot of competition there.
But then you had, Auntie May, his mom, and then you had my grandma. They were women that loved sports. I mean, my mom played sports. My dad didn't play sports. My mom did. So we come from a sports background. So it was, it was just sort of embedded in us, you know what I mean? And, it was just a whole lot of fun. I remember growing up as a kid and, looking back at some of those Thanksgiving pictures and you got like 50 people, 70 people at his house in Oak Park, you know what I mean?
You're the ring bearer at my sister's wedding, right?
I was the
Little
ring bearer.
fella.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Oh,
the ring
no,
bearer.
we're serious family now.
Hey, that's cool. That's weird. I just
we're
found out
fortunate.
something about Greg that we have something else and we have in common because my dad never played sports. My mom was the athlete. Yeah. And that's weird because I always thought everybody's father was the athlete and I was like the weird motherfucker with the mom athlete.
Right.
But hey, I guess I ain't the only
No,
one. My
'cause
brother
it's
my brother mom was great too.
Yeah. I grew up watching with a little bit behind his mom, and that was what was up,
Yeah, volleyball, track, basketball.
She was it.
But I mean, you guys got so many. See, I didn't have a lot of boys in my family. You know what I'm saying? You guys had 30-something boys, all you guys around the same age, playing sports around the same time. And that had to drive the competitive in you guys to make it to where you made it to, Jerry, and then ultimate where Greg made it to.
Right.
So did you guys have any other family members to make it to the pros?
Yeah, we had lots of them. All
My
of them.
brother Stan,
Okay.
he was alternate in the 1968 Olympics in Mexico City. He has a long jumper, and it went back for that. My dad, cousin Ricky.
My mom's brother, son, cousin Ricky,
just-
NFL. I mean,
And it just
Mazio.
went on and on. We have other nephews that played against you. I think Mazio played against you, maybe.
Okay.
Mazio Royster, yeah, he probably
Royster,
played
yeah.
Yeah.
from USC. So I mean, it was just one of the things where sports, man. Like we were talking to Michelle, last episode, and that's what we did. We were outside, dude. You didn't want to go inside. What are we gonna do inside? You know what I mean?
That was a punishment for us, right?
Oh yeah, you take away outside, dog. That was it.
And it's weird.
And it is weird because it's like that little dog. When you walk away and you see the dog in the window, all sad. Everybody else is outside, and you're in the window like, hey, "Mom done got you." You know what I mean? You can't go outside. It's just a long day. And like I said, but family, even to this point of having like cookouts, and everything's a competition, man. We have family cook-offs.
Yeah, we have family cook-offs.
We have family cook-offs. Hey, you can't bring anything to Lex.
And arguing, sweating.
You gotta bring your own barbecue pit.
Yeah,
you can't plug nothing in.
We have a golf tournament. We have a family golf tournament with the trophy that I wish I had photos of it because we bought, me and Greg got together. We got this ridiculous trophy.
Okay.
And each year the winner gets to put his name on
keep it for the
and
whole
gets
year.
to keep it for the whole year and talk trash.
Got your own Stanley Cup?
Yeah, they got their own Stanley Cup. Ain't that something?
It is our own Stanley Cup. So,
Yeah.
like I said, everything's a competition, but Jerry sort of, well, I think our mother set the tone and Uncle Jimmy, going to watch all those games at Christian Brothers, watch the Roger boys and all those guys play. You have Leon and LeRon Lee, Jerry Manuel.
Oh, man.
I mean, Sacramento's rich in athletics, you know what I mean? And for as small as it was, not now, but as small as it was, produced a lot of professional athletes, that are close knit. And we have a tournament for the pros and what is it? The pros and the foes.
Oh, yeah. What is it? Myths and legends, we
Myths
call
and
it. It's myths are all the guys that thought that they could play and thought that they should be playing with Greg and I and Dusty and all the rest of us from Sacramento. But the golf tournament it's a golf tournament that so we call everybody else that didn't make it. They're the myths.
So you played a lot of different sports in high school, right?
I sure did.
What made you choose baseball out of all the sports that you played in high school? Because it sounded like you was pretty good in each sport. So what made you become this fascination with baseball that took you over the top further than majority of the kids that you played with in high school?
Well, to be honest, I didn't even play baseball my senior year in high school. I was a big basketball guy. I was getting ready to go play basketball at UCLA. I mean, I was 100% into that. But he was talking about rolling office. He had a summer league team as I was getting ready to go off to play, right? I was actually going to go to Washington State because they were going to let me play more than one sport. They were going to let me play football also, and basketball, not baseball. And but like I said, the UCLA connection was John Wooden. John Wooden was very instrumental. We went to this Fellowship of Christian Athletes camp that he was at, and he was very instrumental in talking to me about being a professional. The Dodgers had already offered me. I went and played for Roland's summer league team. I was the shortstop and pitcher. Because their shortstop had left to go on vacation. So I went out and he talked me in the plane, and I went over and played. And after like the second game we played that I played in, the Dodger scout asked me if I wanted to play, and I said no way. And then actually when John Wooden heard about it, he says to me, he says, Jerry, he goes, the Dodgers are offering you more money than your daddy makes for a whole year. And to support your family. He says, go ahead and take this, and if it doesn't work out, you could always come back and play college. Back then, you could do that. You can go back and you can come back and play. He goes, it'll still be waiting for you.
It sounds like John Wooden, all the things I've heard about John Wooden is really true, because what are you saying to me? Because the things that I've heard about him is he was very supportive of the black athlete at that particular time.
You're right, James. I mean, think about his relationship with then the Lou Alcindor, and Kareem, and not only that, it was definitely a black athlete thing. He made sure that everyone had an opportunity at his school. But UCLA goes all the way back to Jackie Robinson. Jackie Robinson was there and doing his thing and getting a lot of support from the school, from UCLA. But John Wooden himself, I mean, what a man. This is, you talk about people that I idolize. I mean, he's right up there.
Okay.
He's right up there.
So when you made that decision to go and play baseball, I knew you had to go back to your parents, because most of our parents want us to be college graduates. But when you made that decision, what was the conversation like with your mom and your dad?
Well, John Wooden was there. So,
Wow.
And of course my dad's a proud man. I mean, he brought us all up, all of us, them 30 guys, 30 kids that Greg's talking about. I mean, he brought it. I mean, he was our coach and mentor. He was just always around. He was the father figure for everybody.
Okay.
Right. And he said, no, I want you to do what you want to do, But after talking to John Wooden and hanging out, at Poly, it was Poly Pavilion, playing basketball with, some of the guys. Bill Walton was in my class. Jamal Wilkes was in that class. There was only like 4 or 5 of us.
What's the actor? The little guard? Was he in your class?
No, he was.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, he was on the Hill Street Blues. Back
Yeah,
in the
that
day.
guy,
Right,
the actor.
Right.
I mean, because every time I see UCLA, they show a lot of him with Jamal and the big guy and Kareem. Kareem.
Yeah, but you see that, and Kareem was he was ahead of us. He was, we got to go down there when he was playing, but that was, I think, after my junior year of high school basketball. But the one thing that made the decision was, seriously, what was said is that, how am I going to turn down money that my dad? I know how hard he worked, and when he worked in the foundry on the Air Force Base. I mean, and when we were playing Little League back in the 50s and 60s, early 60s. He was, as he worked at the foundry, he got permission to use some of the scrap metal. That's how we got our trophies for our little.
Mad at the black athlete now. Oh, he's leaving college and to take the money. But we've always did that. We've always did that because we have always had to find a way to take care of our family.
Care of everybody.
In some type of way.
Our responsibility was so much larger than the majority of people. You know what I mean? So, I never understood how people can comment on somebody else's well-being. Then, you can't walk in anybody else's shoes. You don't know what they're going through. So how can you say what they need to do and what's best for them? That's right, bro. But that's why I said, everyone gets to have an opinion, but, You know what I mean? It doesn't carry much weight with me. I don't care what, you know me, I don't care what people say. You know, I live the way I want to live. I do what I want to do. And, you know, I just try to make good decisions. Some are good, some are bad. And, you know, that's life, and I just move on. But
you're fortunate enough to be in a position where you can take care of family, and you've always done that. You've never, ever said no to make sure that someone was able to, you know, to move forward. You've always been like that.
That's great, because he said something to me a lot. He said, hey, where I go, you go. You know what I'm saying? And I've always been the person where I go, I'm taking you. I've never had a person to grab me by my arm and say, hey, Jay, I got you. You know what I'm saying? This is the first time in my life that I've had somebody equally yoked with me where, hell, I can kind of take a step back and be like, hey, my big dog got me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm the big brother in my family. And now I finally got a big brother. So now I can kind of I ain't got to stand in the back of him, but I don't mind leaning a little bit on the side of him and be like, shit, bro, do your thing.
Well, you know,
we roll.
And he rolled like that. And I know it's true because he didn't say it in front of nobody. He said it between me and him.
Right.
And that's when you know it's real. You know what I mean?
He don't
but you know, I don't have a posse. I don't have an entourage.
That's right.
You know, I only have a select few people around me. A lot of acquaintances, but, you know, my partners and people that I can count on, you know, these two hands.
Right.
But I know these two hands too, those people that are going to tell me the truth. They're not going to tell me what I want to hear.
That's right.
And it's a mutual respect thing. And I think, you know, and that's something I just always try to stress to my kids. Don't hang around people that tell you what you want to hear. Yeah. You know, because that's not what life's about. You know, those people don't. If they're telling you what you want to hear, they don't care anything about you.
Them yes man to get you in more trouble than a motherfucker that's trying to get you in trouble.
Tell me about it.
And you know, he took in my little brother, man. He had never met my little brother Terry, and him and every day I look up, I'm like, where's my brother? He over Greg's house. I'm like, hey, where you at? You know where I'm at. I'm like, yeah, goddamn, come on. But that's cool, man. That shows that Jerry, you done a great job of helping raise him as a man, you know what I'm saying? And your dad, the work that you guys did in Sacramento, you can see it reflect on you guys. Your dad reflection is on you guys. And that's a good thing because it's hard to have good men, just good because I'm good, not because I want some out you. I'm good because I'm a good person. Right. And that's hard. And I find my wife always tell me, she find me doing things for people that people won't do for me. But I don't look for me in other people.
But you don't do anything, you know, like the Bible says, you don't do anything because you expect something in return. You know what I mean?
Bro.
You know, and that's what it comes down to. But, you know, just like Uncle Jimmy, like I said, there was Auntie May, you know, Lulu, there was, I mean, my cousin Billy, who my aunt accidentally dropped on her head, I think, his head. You know, Billy, love you, Billy, but anyway, he's another one. Billy's, probably 10 years, 8, 9, 10 years older than me. And he would stop and pick me up also.
Absolutely.
You know, stop and pick me up and take me to his game. So there's plenty of family members, you know. But like I said, the women in our family members were strong and they were proud. So they weren't yes women. They took care of home, but they told you the truth.
But the black women back then was like that though, bro, because they had to be.
I'll tell you what, James, I mean, the women in our family, and he's talking about 10 or 12 different
women.
Like, I mean, proud women.
Yeah.
My mom, you know, his grandma used to slap me for sitting like I'm sitting right now. She'd say, "Sit up, boy."
Right? Speaking of that,
she was always clean. You know, that's what I knew about, you know, Auntie Doris. Yeah, that's his mom. His mom was like, oh, and yeah, he had to be like that. He didn't have no choice.
No, but you know, my grandma always taught me. She said, sometimes people only get one impression of you, so don't blow that one impression. Mm-hmm. So, and she spoke her mind. You know what I mean? She might have been 5 foot or whatever, maybe 5 foot, but she ran the whole. She ran it.
Yeah, you straighten up when the people in our family, when the women in our family walk in. You show them respect, and if you didn't, You got to deal with the fathers.
Yeah, that's like in my family, the women was the majority. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have a lot of men in our family.
Right.
So, and I had a grandma that was probably 4'11", and that was the toughest woman I ever met in my life. And when
you think about it, what they had to endure. You know, people of color back then, especially not just color, but then you're female too.
Mm-hmm.
It's just facts that they had to endure so much more. His godfather, my Uncle Herbert, who's 93 now, still alive, I think he was mad at his sister, and she brought him here from North Carolina. Yeah,
right. North Carolina and Mississippi.
Man,
Went through Gulfport.
he didn't want to come.
Oh, burnt corn, Alabama.
But they brought him.
California.
She brought him out there, but she was not only other men's supervisor at the Army Depot, she was his supervisor too. Right. So, you know what I mean? Men, people that, no woman's my boss, but so she said, I don't want to hear about fear. You just deal with it.
Right.
You deal with it, you make the best of it, and you just go on from there. So there wasn't a whole lot of excuses being made, as kids when we were coming up. Right. They weren't allowed because, I go back and I listen to my mom and my grandmother, and just, a couple of weeks ago with my Uncle Herbert talking about, 3 o'clock in the morning, waking up and, going out and to pick cotton and tobacco, and the sharecroppers, he said he would work all summer, all year round, and never got paid because they're working for their food. They're working they were sharecroppers. So, and you think about it, all the things that we complain about.
Oh.
I mean, can you imagine 8, 9, 10?
We were fortunate enough to be well reminded, though, when we have our reunions and we do all this stuff. Like I was fortunate enough to play for 16 years. I played 16 years in the major leagues and been in baseball for over 50-something years, right? And I know Greg.
Tell us about
that.
Tell us a little bit about that. You know what I mean? Like it started 20. I mean, tell me some of the players you got traded for and came up with, and been on the. I mean,
yeah, you can start at the beginning because you said you were drafted by the Dodgers, right? Was that your first team?
I wasn't even drafed. Like I said, I didn't play my senior year.
Picked him right out the cornfield.
I was playing sandlot baseball basically when the Dodgers saw me, and eventually when I signed and left, and my very first year, I'll tell you one story because it says a lot. My very first year playing was in 1971. Wow. And we had a manager. The manager wasn't very good to me, and it was 1971. It was right after the riots, right? This guy's name was Ducky LeJohn, and he just happened to be from the South, right? And what does he know? He don't know nothing, but he didn't like me so much. Only reason I say he doesn't like me because he didn't let me play. Right, I just turned down UCLA, just turned them down, and signed with the Dodgers. And I go to spring training, and leave out with with the Class A team, right, which was kind of high. Usually you go to a rookie league or something like that. Mm-hmm. But I go to him, and it was in Bakersfield, California. So shoot, I'm right down the street from Sacramento, right? I'm in the vicinity. So we were coming up to play in a city called Lodi, and right in a city called Lodi, right where your wine is now, right? It's right on there. So we were getting ready to play against a team in Lodi, and I hadn't played a game. This is like 13, 14 games into the season. I have not started one game, and so I went into his office. And you didn't used to do that back when I started. I went into his office. I said, "Hey, listen, we're headed to Lodi. We're getting ready to get on the bus to go to Lodi. And I know we have a double hitter the first day we're there. We're going to have 2 games." I said, "Is there any way possible that I could start one of those games? My family's going to be there. My entire basically the city of Sacramento going to be there, right? And our baseball community in Sacramento is second to none anywhere in the United States. Okay. No one has a bigger baseball community than we do." And I knew that they were going to be there, and I wanted to show off. And my high school girlfriend was going to be there, so I really wanted to show her. So so Ducky LeJohn says, You know what? I could probably do that. I could see you start one of the games. He goes, I'll let you know when we get up there, right? Meanwhile, like I've hit a couple of times. I've, come in and pitch ran, right? So anyway, so we get there and Ducky says, Jerry, you're going to play. You're going to, first game, you're going to play third base. He goes, I'm going to get you in there. And I said, thanks. My family's, I'm sure they're going to be right here, as soon as we get off this bus, right? And that's the last thing I said to him until the game started hours later, right? And I went off. I mean, I went off. I not only did oh man, I was 4 for 5. I had like 4 stolen bases. I scored 4 runs.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like I couldn't ball. I could ball. I mean, they're paying me, and I didn't even get drafted. Back then, if you didn't get drafted, you barely ever. I signed as a free agent.
Okay.
Right. So anyway, I go off, and now the game's over, right? And I'm getting ready to go see my family, right? I'm getting ready to go say hi to everybody in between games because I know I ain't playing, right? I know he barely let me play that game. So I'm outside talking to the family and the friends and everything, and here comes one of the other coaches. We only had one other coach. He comes out and he says, hey, Ducky wants to see you. And I said, really? I said, you know what it is? Because I'm out here with my family. Because right now I'm mad. I'm mad at Ducky. I don't want to hear anything.
You're
Ducky.
not a big fan of his.
No, and mind you, I'm 17 years old, right? 18 years old, and I was 18 years old. And then he said, no, Jerry, you need to come. And I said, okay. So and my dad said, you get your butt in there, right? You get your butt in there. I go in there, and Ducky says, hey, you did such a great job. I'm going to put you in there the second game. And I wanted to say, I swear, I thought about saying, no kidding. That 4 for 5 and 4 runs scored and 4 stolen bases.
Probably a good thing you did. Just keep your mouth shut. Probably a good thing you did.
It was great. But again, it was my dad. It was that stopped me from, making a huge mistake.
Get to sit right down the street to Sacramento.
And guess what?
Hanging out at the forum.
So the very next thing, so I played that game, went off again, hit my first professional home run, just balled, right?
Okay.
Right? Now we played 2 games, right? And the next day we're playing there, but the next day
He don't play you.
I don't start, right? And I'm sitting on the bench, and everybody's back. Everybody's there. Now my daddy's going like, what's going on?
I'm going to put you back in your place.
He actually took me, he took somebody out just so I could play. And he says, yeah, but that other guy playing like you playing? I said, no, he ain't. And he says, well, you need to talk to him again. And I said, okay, I didn't know what, But so the game's over with. That's the third game. Mm-hmm. We're leaving, right? We getting ready to get back on the bus, right? We getting ready to go to Modesto or someplace like that. And actually, we went back home. We went back to Bakersfield. And we had a day off the next day after that game. And the next day I come to the ballpark and start getting dressed. Ducky wants to see you. So I go in Ducky's office, and Ducky says, Jerry, I just don't think you have what it takes to be a Major League Baseball player. And I can't see you getting enough playing time here. So we're going to release you. He wasn't sending me down. He was sending me home.
After you just went 4 for 5, 3 for 4, and he's going to send you home.
Grandma?
With a home run.
With the home run. Your first home run.
Made it too close, man. You look surprised, man. You look surprised.
Grandma used to always say,
made it too close.
Made it too close.
He says, we are sending you home. And everybody's in the locker room getting dressed. And I said what you said. I said, man, I just played so good, I said, he goes, I just don't see it. They're asking me, how it's going, and I don't see you being the guy.
Here you go.
So I said, okay, but now I'm embarrassed. Like I'm getting ready to go home and have to tell these people that I ain't good enough. I ain't never not been good enough. I've been pretty good at everything as far as sports go. But so I go back to the locker room, start packing. I don't know if you know this, but I start packing my clothes, right? Mm-hmm. And my teammates come over and they're coming over and they're going, "What's up?" I said, "I just got released." And this one guy that has been playing for like 5 years, he's still in Class A, black guy. And he takes his hat off. Lee Thompson is the guy's name. He takes his hat off and bam, he slams it on the ground, walks in the Ducky's office, right? Because he getting ready to bring up the race thing, right? It's obvious to everybody that there ain't no way that I just signed. I've only played 2 games. I've only played 2 games. I've only started 2 games. So anyway, the story continues that as I'm packing, getting ready to go, and all my teammates are wondering what's going on. I'm wondering what Lee's doing, what he's doing in Ducky's office.
Choking him out.
Choking him the fuck out.
Choking him out.
Hey, James, this guy, Lee comes out and says, "Hey, man, sorry." He goes, I couldn't convince him to do anything with you either. And, he goes, "What are you going to do?" I said, "Shoot, I'm going home. I'm getting ready to go play basketball, man. I should have done that in the first place, So I'm packed up. The guys are leaving out to go to the field to start practice and stuff. Mm-hmm. Ducky's nowhere to be found, right? I got my bag. I'm walking out. As I'm walking through the clubhouse, that same coach comes to me and says, "Hey, Ducky needs to see you in his office." I said, "I'm done with Ducky." I said, "I don't think I ever want to see Ducky again," right? He says, "Jerry, you need to go see Ducky." I go in, and he's on the phone with our farm director. And I walk into his office, and Ducky says, "Mr. Sweppy wants to talk to you." So I'm on the phone with Mr. Sweppy. He says, "Hey, man," he goes, "Hey, I'm sorry about what's going on, but we have an opening in Daytona Beach, Florida. Someone's gotten hurt, and we'd like for you to, if you want, you can go there as opposed to going home." He goes, "I know you have some other things that you can do." I said, "No." I said, "I want to go play. I want to go anywhere where I can play." I said, "I'm a good baseball player. I know I can do this. I've been watching everybody else, and I know I can do this." And he says, "Well, we're going to get you an airplane ticket. We're flying you to Daytona Beach, Florida," right? I'm a California boy now. I'm getting ready to go to Florida.
Florida, baby.
Oh my goodness.
Going to Florida, baby.
So I go. I'll keep it short from here on, but I had to set it up. So I go to Daytona Beach, and I get with a manager that's from Alabama. No problem, though. This dude says, "Jerry, you're my guy." He says, "You're going to play third base here, and you're going to play every single day." He goes, "What happened to you shouldn't happen." I don't even know how he even knew. This was 2 days after Ducky, And so I go there, make the all-star team. This is a month into the season. I go there. I make the all-star team halfway through in the Florida State League, right? Playing against Ken Griffey Sr., Dan Dreesen, some of the guys, and I'm on that team, and they knew that I had gotten released, and so a year and a half after Ducky said that he didn't think I could do it, guess where I was? In Los Angeles, playing for the Dodgers in the major leagues. A year and a half later, I played Double-A the next year, half a year Triple-A, and got called up in
You got
in
dementia?
August. What's that?
You got dementia?
Can I ask you a question?
What's that?
Whatever happened to Ducky?
Wait, hold on. I want to hear what year it is.
Yeah,
Before
what
his
year?
dementia kicks
Okay,
in.
so this is 1973, right? August 23rd, 1973. Dodgers.
There it is.
Dodgers just reincarnated my first game in the major leagues. It was 50 years ago. 50 years ago, that was last summer they did that.
God bless you, man. God bless.
Right.
God bless. So you made it, and Ducky ass still coaching in.
Ducky came up. So at the end of the year, the Dodgers bring in all the managers. You remember how that goes, Greg? Right? Yeah. They bring in all the minor league managers for the last month of the season to hang and let them hang out for a week or so. So I'm sitting in my locker. I'm sitting next to, Dodger greats, Steve Garvey, Ron Say, Davey Lopes was my guy and still is, get well, Davey. So I'm sitting there, and somebody taps me on my shoulder in September, and it was Ducky. And he puts both hands on these rubber mics. He says, boy, did I make a mistake on you. And I do one of these, and Steve Garvey says, man, don't you ever do that to anybody ever again. He says, don't you ever treat somebody like that. And he knew the story. He knew what had happened. Steve Garvey said that. And I get up and I said, let's go. I said, Ducky, let's go outside. Let's go, And I take him out because I hadn't seen him, hadn't heard from him, right? And because the very next year I was in Major League camp. He was in minor league camp.
Still down there playing with the little kids.
Same team, right?
Sucker.
Right. Went right by all them dudes, all those guys that were playing ahead of me, and it wasn't their fault. But anyway, so and I said, Ducky, I said, why did you do that? I said, you haven't even said anything to me since that even happened. And he goes, hey man, he goes, we're human and we make mistakes like that. I said, but you can't do that to anybody. And that taught me a lesson because I went on and coached and managed. I managed in the major leagues. I managed for the same team that he played for the Brewers. I managed the Brewers, right? And coached with the Brewers. And I coached in the major leagues with a lot of teams.
Hold on. You telling me you coached him?
No.
Let me tell you what I did. Yes.
Shit. We finna get it
the
now.
Answer is yes.
Big dog. Baby
Answer's
boy.
yes.
Hee.
So remember I just told you guys in September, the minor league managers get called up. In 1998, he was playing for the World Series team in San Diego.
Yeah, he came up.
Right.
That was a good time, man, to be with your cousin.
Yeah.
That was a good time, man.
How that feel, bro?
It was cool.
It was
right?
amazing.
Talk to me about it. Tell me something.
No,
I mean, you had to have some love.
No, I had lots of love. But, dude, we ate together. He lived. I'm shit.
I was at the house.
He lived with me. Yeah. La Jolla, to have you.
But all the guys, I knew them all too. I knew everybody on the team in the major leagues because I was in spring training too.
But he coached here in Vegas for the 51s for how many years?
Yeah, so for the 51s and for the Padres and for the Dodgers, a total of like 6 seasons. I was the manager
here
in Las Vegas
at the Christmas Stadium. We could play exhibitions.
Yeah,
and I got to see him. Like I said, we spent a lot of time together, man. It was, but to have somebody, that's part of your family that you're close to. Because I played with a lot of friends too from Sacramento. I was blessed that way. But then Jerry, tell us about him. Then he went to Korea. Tell us about Korea.
Yeah, that was after my playing days. But we'd be remiss if we skip over April 8th, 1974.
Yep.
And that's the 50th anniversary of Hank Aaron breaking Babe Ruth's record, right? Yep. So I was there. I was playing for the Dodgers, and I was playing for the Dodgers, we were playing against the Braves, and on the other team was a couple other Sacramento guys that have already been mentioned several times. Roland Office, who was best man at my wedding, and Dusty Baker, who we all grew up. He was on deck.
Dusty from Sacramento?
Yeah, when he hit the home run.
I didn't know
So
that.
Dusty was on deck when Hank hit the home run, and Roland took his place when he came off the field, to the hand of all the people, and after the home run that same night.
That'd be big.
So
for
Sacramento, we still talk about it.
It was big for baseball.
Yeah,
Right.
But you think about the mayor. That's the Godfather.
Right.
Dusty. That's what. He's been influential in so many guys' lives.
Oh my gosh.
Especially people that look like us. And if I probably did it again, all over again, when he asked me to come coach, I probably should have came to coach because he says if we don't coach, who's going to continue to fight for guys that look like us? You know what I mean? But I was right after I got done playing, and you just think about 20 years almost of your life traveling and gone. It was time to be with my kids. So it's like I said, we just got so many stories and so much history to tell.
Do you have any regret not going to play coach baseball?
The only regret I have is maybe I shouldn't have been thinking about myself. Maybe I should have been thinking about the guys that sacrifice so much to continue to make sure we have people in line in order to fight for people that look like us. That's what I do regret. I don't regret one day ever taking my kids to school and picking them up and being with them every single day. But I do regret, everybody else made sacrifices. I probably should have did the same thing but it was a hard choice, and you asked me, that's my answer.
And I don't think the opportunity presented itself in the right timing for you. I really don't. And, we've talked about it before, but I just, recently, last year, teams were still asking you to do stuff. And when managers were taking over teams, they've asked Greg on a couple of occasions. And I'm glad he didn't do it because it wasn't right. It wasn't a right time for him, I don't think.
I don't see Greg as a baseball coach because he's kind of, I hate to keep saying this, he reminds me so much of me. I'm a no nonsense type of person.
Right.
And in this age and day, we had a lot of athletes they just want you to kiss their ass.
He got respect though that most people don't have, which is why they want him.
He's not gonna kiss your ass.
No, but I think you can do it in a way not kiss ass. I think as long as the communication, because like I said, Dusty, like I said, as long as you got some weight, I think they will respect you. And it's not the players I ever had a problem with. It's not the players. It's people that probably didn't play that want to tell me I have to do things one way. I mean, I never played for a manager or a coach that told me I had to do things one way. They let me be me, and it worked for a long time for a lot of different people.
Right.
But I know how to communicate. I know how to talk to people. I know how to motivate. But, for some reason, the people that are in charge of the game now, not saying it's good or bad, they're in charge.
That's the problem. And that's the problem. And you don't want to listen to them. Mm-hmm. I mean, you could, but I'm telling you, I just didn't think that it was a good time for you. But, that doesn't mean that I'm right. But,
Well, my cousin, he asked me to come to Korea, too, with him. And I was like,
that's
man,
right.
that's kind of far. Dude, I'm good.
That's a fly.
So I ended up taking another one of our friends that we grew up with in Sacramento, Fernando Arroyo. I took him to Korea with me as my pitching coach. And we were over there for 3 years. I was the first foreign manager in the history of the Korean Baseball League.
Congratulations.
And it was a big accomplishment, and it was a big deal for the owner of the company that I was working, that was bringing me in. He took a big risk, but he was asking. He had a team in Japan that was thriving under the management of a good friend of mine, Bobby Valentine. Right? Not everybody likes this guy, but this guy has always been a Jerry Royster fan. For some reason, we were Dodgers and stuff together. But so the owner asked Bobby Valentine in Japan, as he's managing the team, does he know of anyone in the States in Major League Baseball that would come and manage my team in Korea? And come to find out, the first person he said was Jerry Royster.
Bobby Valentine was a good coach, though.
Bobby Valentine was
a great coach.
He was
Great
amazing.
I should say manager. I'm sorry.
And he's a baseball guy forever.
He's a baseball guy, and I recognize his name because I'm a baseball person.
There you go.
I love baseball, and Bobby Valentine was always one of my favorite coaches that's out there. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
for you to be a good friend with his, I know you knew what you was doing, and for me to know you now,
Right.
because I knew you from afar, never knew who you were. Because I knew your name and I knew your accolades and I knew
Right.
what you've done, but to know you sitting this close to you is amazing for me to be able to be this close to you and know the things that you've done. And now you're my friend because you're one of my best friends uncle,
Please,
cousin,
Please,
everything.
Jay. Please,
man.
now.
God bless me to have you here, man.
We're from Sacramento, so.
All right, hood ass
and you're a Raider.
motherfuckers. All right, now I gotta go back to my hood way. I was trying to be good, but nah, man. Hey, man.
Thank you so much.
I enjoy your company, man, and Greg always talk about you, man. But now I could put a face and a name together, man, and I'm proud to know you.
All right, thank you.
He probably know you too, East St. Louis.
I know
East
you.
Saint?
I know you very well.
If you stop doing, don't put that on there.
Anyway, so those 3 years, I was over there for 3 years. Team that had never made it, done anything. I was able to, Fernando and I and a lot of other people were involved. We were able to bring it to promise. We didn't win any championships, but all of a sudden we were
Competitive?
we were contender every year. We went to playoffs for all 3 years, and they hadn't been there in 10 years. And I mean, they treated me like a king. But I mean, we got off.
Did you guys ever play against each other?
No.
I'm not talking about the major leagues. Did you guys? Because it's 30 of y'all. You know how many baseball teams y'all could put together in y'all family?
Dude,
I kick his ass every day in golf.
In y'all
every time we
family,
play
man.
golf, we play golf, and I bust that ass.
Hey, man, if you know anybody, I'm gonna tell you, a guy can't beat me when he's about to chip and he says move out the way because it might go that way. So he can't beat. I've been eating off him for a long time, dude. I've been saving my meal money for a long time, dog. A long time.
Hey, man, that's what I'm saying. I'm like,
saving
man,
my
it's
meal.
30 of y'all. I know y'all have some good games.
Dude, we
man.
got
So he didn't go with me to Korea, and he should have done that. It would have been an amazing experience, but he did go with me
Cancun.
to Cancun, Mexico, when I managed there for one summer.
He would.
Because
He would.
we live like kings there.
He would.
I don't even want to tell you, but
I know my partner.
yeah.
It's
But we were able to go
warm.
to spring training together and work with kids, work with players.
Yeah, see, that was the thing. I love teaching. So they let me teach, and they were very happy with the progress that was made.
Absolutely.
Everyone just left me alone and just let me do my own thing, and it was, it was awesome. It was. I didn't travel. I didn't do anything, dude.
That was
They go
his
on the road.
introduction to coaching
Did you like it?
professional baseball.
No, but I didn't have to travel. They'd be on the road, dude. I'd be at the resort, freaking getting back rubs and.
I told you how it was.
Hey,
right?
as I said, he would.
Yeah, man. I was.
So I mean, we've done things together.
Too many things
We
together.
still do. We still play golf together. We still, I mean, like I said, we get together with family. We got the same friends. His friends are my friends.
It's
and
amazing.
We've gotten new friends, and we go and support a lot of charities around the country.
Yeah, for
playing golf and
just
be with the guys.
experiences. It's nice to be able to do that with someone that knows you almost as good as you know yourself. You know what I mean? It's he doesn't want anything from me. He wants the best. He wants what's best for me, and it's nice, especially in the day and age we live in now, where people you don't know who to trust, and so many people are manipulative.
We check each other, dude. We're able
yeah.
to check each other and keep each other together.
If you can't check a person, that ain't your friend. If you can't have an argument and hug and kiss after, that ain't your friend. You know what I'm saying? You can't have a debate
I ain't kissing
and
him,
disagree.
but, argue.
You can't be
I'll
a
hug
friend.
him.
No, that ain't what I'm saying. You got
I
to
know
be
what you're
able.
saying. I
You got
know
to be
what
able
you're
to
saying.
disagree to agree and be
Disagree to
okay
disagree.
with it. You know what I'm saying?
We're-
And it sounds like you guys have that relationship.
Oh, we argue all the time sometimes.
I usually win the argument, though.
That's just because after a while,
'Cause he's older.
Age, man.
You're not gonna get through
dementia.
dementia. And
That's okay.
definition of
He called me
insanity.
concussion. You dementia. So every only person in this motherfucker sane is him.
True.
He the only sane motherfucker.
True.
So you never took the ball upside the head?
A lot of balls and helmets
Yeah.
So that
Well, he'll tell you,
means
dude, he'll tell you, football was my best sport.
I know
Easily.
that. I've
Easily.
asked guys about it.
And basketball was mine. But we were
That's
able.
weird. Baseball was mine.
Yeah. See,
So y'all are playing the wrong sports?
All us played the wrong fucking sport.
I don't think I played the wrong sport.
No, I don't-
You'd have been a good running back.
My little six.
You've been Thurman Thomas before Thurman.
Well, I have a question about the Korea. Like, so, to audiences, like, especially Americans that watch American sports, we know that baseball's huge over there. And, overseas, Korea, Japan, these places are. So, for the American audiences, like, tell me what the difference is like in those locker rooms. Like, how are those players? Do they?
Tell me what spring training's like.
Yeah, like give us a picture of this.
It's like going to getting drafted by the Army.
Exactly. Wow. Exactly. I think the reason that we were able to have success over there, I mean, that's a whole section talking about Korea. We could talk about that for hours. But I guarantee you, if you guys look it up, just do Jerry Royster Korea. My Google, I mean, it's everywhere. I mean, but I was able to take these kids and teach them something that they always wanted. All the coaches
We
over
got
there.
Tough on it right now. He's Googling you right now. Korea.
Yeah, I mean, the coaches were the hardest people to get through. The players, they saw me and they wanted to know everything.
Yeah.
Right? What's going to make me better? Right?
Yes.
So that was my coaching theory over there.
Can I ask you something?
But you know, see, once again, it's the adults because now their power is getting snipped or taken
right.
away, and so he's the enemy. So, you know, we can't do what this guy says because we know more than he knows, and
Right.
and plus they think their livelihood too. So part of it is they got to eat, they got to turn on their light
Right.
switch and have something happen, right? So now Jerry comes over, and now.
I made them grow though. I had to win over the coaches. So I had to get close with them. But I told them, I said, we will no longer, spring training will not be a regiment. This is not boot camp. We're trying to get ready for a season, that's going to be very difficult for us because we've never had much success. So, I don't want us practicing stuff that's not going to make them better, right? Running mountains for half the day or running or taking 400 ground balls in a day, right? No, we're going to work on things that are going to that guys are going to get better at,
quality over quantity.
And then it's over with, and soon and it's going to take 2 hours. It ain't going to take 7 hours. It's going to take 2, and then the next hour, I'm taking you guys out, and you're going golfing with me. First, no. We can't. You're going golfing with me, or you're going to leave. That's how you're going to leave this team, right? So we're going to eat together. We're going to play together, and we're going to teach together. We're not going to do it without you. I said I can't do this
And
without
drink wine.
you guys.
And drink wine.
Ooh, big time.
They drink a lot of wine?
Drink a lot.
They drink a lot of everything.
Soju is the drink of choice. Ooh,
That's it.
It's a little bit of
soju?
everything. Yes, it's a wine. It's wine.
What you over there shaking your head for like you know
Yeah,
what soju
I got
is?
something I got something at home.
Come on, man.
Yeah, he knows what's soju.
He's actually.
You know what this fucking
We
with.
drink soju. We drink soju.
Bring me some. You got some?
I got some.
Bring me
We
some.
drink
All right.
soju here.
It sound like some Mad Dog.
Yeah,
20.
It's good.
For my birthday.
Yeah,
we
we
strong.
drink soju
We
at his
drank soju.
birthday.
We drank soju for my birthday. Yeah, we did.
It sound like some Mad Dog 2020.
It's
Soul
good.
juice.
Same thing.
Yeah,
Right.
But it tastes a little bit better.
it does taste a lot better. It tastes a lot better.
That's what
Lot
makes it
better.
dangerous.
It's good. It tastes good. Yeah.
So I involved the people. I made the coaches and the players respect the fans. They were the most popular team. We were drawing like 600,000 people in a 8-team league, right? They were already drawing 600,000 people, and everybody else was drawing, 100,000 or 80,000 for the year and stuff like that. So my first year, one of the first things I did before we left spring training was, we set up a visit. We were going to visit, when we got back to town, we were going to visit different places. And I took them to the visit the Army, right? We paid respect to all the Army, played all of a sudden we played the national anthem. They never played their national anthem. We did stuff. I invited people down onto the field, one family that would come in, right? They'd come down on the field and do the national anthem with us, just trying to, restore some patriotism and bring the team together.
So you brought the major leagues over there, my man.
Easy to do, all right? I wasn't bringing up, there wasn't nothing new to me, but they didn't have it there. Whatever they didn't have, I was bringing it there. And that year we drew 1.1 million. Wow. The following year we drew 1.3. Wow. Right? Now, Korea ain't getting bigger. And the last year I was there, year 3 was 1.5. million people. And I mean, that's in Google too. You don't get
No,
the
we
line
can
no
Google
more.
you can't be lying now.
Hey,
This is the internet, no lying no more.
Go ahead, Google, man.
No, but I just want to know like what the difference is between like the players, like the mentality there. Like
I had an interpreter. I had an interpreter on the field.
He said, but what did you see though? What did you see? The
Yeah,
difference?
like do they play harder or they like
No.
what's the
No, they don't play harder. They had. I mean, there were things that hindered their growth, and including, I hate saying it, but the coaches. They had coaches that would, if a guy made an error, they'd take him out of the game right then and there. It didn't matter if it was the first inning, fifth inning, didn't matter. So we're playing the top team in the league, right? First time we're playing them. Third baseman runs over to catch a foul ball. He trips over the mound that's on the warm-up mound, right? And ball falls in, boom, he takes him out of the game in the first inning, right? Another thing, the managers are sitting in a chair just like this. It's a big high-back chair, look like a king's chair, like King George V.
Like you sit like with that pouty face after I beat you in golf every day.
And they'd sit in a chair and manage the game like this and do like this to their coaches.
they take the fun out of the game.
There was no fun in the game.
That's
and I
the
made
difference.
all of it about fun and involvement. And I brought them in to the office. I wanted to get to know them. You asked what were they like? Pitchers didn't pitch inside to older hitters. They couldn't pitch inside because if they hit someone that's older than them, it was disrespectful. They'd have to take off their hat and they bowed to them as the guy's walking down right? There's a lot of
I
things.
should have went there and played after I was done. Didn't have to worry about no
A lot of
balls.
guys did.
I mean, yeah. Well, the reason I asked
you
is
know
because
how many
like
pitches, Greg, you'd have got over the plate.
Yeah,
you would have got some pitches.
So
But
there's
yeah, 'cause,
guys
like,
that did that and they got to come over here and play.
Yeah, well, a lot of half the world is Asian, and like when you're raised by Asian parents, like people don't realize how strict it is. And the coaches is the
That's
same
the
thing.
culture.
They take the fun out of everything. That's the whole thing.
right.
And if you don't do perfect, then it's you might as well be a failure.
So the older player on the team, as they're sitting in the dugout, if he wants to, he can just go over and pop a young guy right in the face.
Say that again.
I didn't stutter. That time I didn't stutter.
Put your hands on me. I'm breaking your neck.
And
He's just their culture, big fella.
and the kid,
Their culture, big fella.
they didn't do that on my team. It's
a culture.
No, we're not doing that anymore.
But we have fun everywhere.
We stopped that.
But we have fun everywhere. We coach even, because the structure the way it was when we were in Cancun. You know what I mean?
Basically same way, right?
Yeah. You guys let them. No, man, these guys need to be champions. Let's go. You gotta
The
have
owner
some fun.
wanted to tell them how to wear their pants and all kind of stuff. I'm saying.
What years were these in Korea? What years were you
Korea,
there?
I was 2008, 9, and 10.
Okay, so I bet the culture changed a lot because of what you guys did.
So 2008,
Yeah.
which is coming up, the Olympics is coming up, but 2008 Olympics, that was first year baseball was in, and Korea won the gold medal. So they thought it was because of what we were bringing into the game. My pitcher's pitching inside.
Makes
if
sense.
you hit somebody and they wanted to come out to the mound, then we'd fight them. We fight.
Come on.
Right? Oh, we can't have that. We can't have that. Yes, we are. We're pitching inside. And the players, some of them didn't want to do it. And, Fernando had to, convince them, hey, this is the only way that you're going to get better. Right? So we started pitching inside. We started winning. And it was on for
So
me.
you guys put a lot of American culture into the Korean game.
All of it.
Yeah, I think it goes to all the games too, because now you're seeing players from all over. Shohei is one of the biggest players. I know he's
Think about,
Japanese,
and
but
you see how
back
he's
then,
acting now.
That's
Look
what I'm
how,
saying. Yeah.
and he didn't act like that in Japan.
Yeah.
He couldn't do any of the stuff that he's doing now. He couldn't.
Because when I was a kid, we had like a couple. We had Ichiro. There wasn't that many players from
Yes.
overseas.
Ichiro, a bad boy.
Yeah,
he was
he's
still-
a Hall of
Yeah,
Famer.
but you-
Next
again,
year.
He didn't make it close. He never made it close.
You never made it close. You had Matsui before.
Matsui, yeah.
Right.
Like I said, when I went over there and I was with those guys, Matsui was bigger than Ichiro.
Yep.
And
Yes.
the stuff. they clear out a restaurant for these guys. You know what I mean? It's unbelievable. But it goes back to our last episode. What did Michelle say? How come, women's sports and all these other countries are better? Because, as you alluded to, if you weren't good enough to play here, you always had to go overseas. So they took all the quote unquote not good enough, but were good enough players, and they just studied them, and they've influenced their culture on how to play sports, and how to get better, and how to think outside the box and do things differently. You know what I mean?
Well, think about this. Why all the sports in America
You kill me like back to
goes out to different countries except football. Football don't resonate in other countries like it does in America. Baseball, basketball.
Because all the other
volleyball.
countries played. I mean, Hank Aaron was played in Korea, right? Willie Mays played in Korea. From the Negro Leagues, when they had the Negro Leagues, they weren't able to go over there, but they would accept them in Asia.
But I'm just saying, football don't resonate like baseball, basketball. You know what I'm saying?
They didn't play it.
It's weird to me as
look how
greatest football is here.
No, but look how long it took for us to get soccer here.
Yes.
Coming from those other countries.
You want me to tell you the reason soccer isn't big in America? You can't cut to commercial every 3 seconds or 3 minutes. That's the reason.
That's the only reason.
That's literally the reason. It's all about money.
It's big now.
It is big, but it's
bigger,
not as
but
big
it's
as it
not
could
as
be.
big.
As big as it should
Yeah,
be.
you're talking about the World Cup. Half the world watches the World Cup. Half the world.
I've been to a World Cup.
Yeah.
The United States is about TV,
That's it.
commercials, and if you can't cut,
Yep.
and I guess
football's
But there are
perfect
no
for it.
football. Name a football
Football's
team.
perfect for it.
Name a football player from Asia. You can name several baseball
players.
or even
But
basketball.
that's my
is doing better.
point. My point is why didn't football get out there?
Like Greg said,
everything?
like Greg was saying, there's.
I think to be honest, I think it's a size thing. I think it's one of those things that's like,
Yeah,
you don't-
yeah,
like
especially-
like a guy like me. I don't like your football out of the question. Like not even out of the question. When I played sports as a kid, basketball, baseball,
Right.
soccer or whatever. But like football, you wanted to play, but you're like, oh, you already know when you're 8 years old, you're like, I'm never going to be able to
Especially
play.
you're talking about in their country too.
Yeah.
If you don't pick up football, at an early
At a
age,
young age, right.
Yeah.
It's, and like you said, it's a size thing. You ain't talking about equipment. Who are you gonna play against?
Yeah, you want to know about analytics? They said analytics with basketball and football. Right. They said your chances increased every inch from 6 feet up. Every inch. So go name how many Asian guys are 6 feet and up. You know what I mean? Like there's not that many.
I would just say
that's three. I'm just saying that's 3 billion people of the population.
Violence. Football is
I don't think
very
so.
violent game.
Because you go there, dude.
I don't think so.
No, because if you talk about violence, you go straight to Japan and Asia, bare knuckle fights and all this stuff they've been doing
Agreed.
for hundreds of years.
Muay Thai, like come on.
So
that's
basically,
yeah.
you're saying it's size. Bro.
It's size.
Yeah, and it,
I say Asia, you can't imagine the cultural difference.
It's huge.
I mean, you can go there and you can visit, but when you live it and you get down inside for Korea and Japan, I mean, it's a whole nother world.
I think as Americans, when you grow up too, we do have that thing, that belief, like you can, if you try hard enough, you can make it.
Absolutely.
When you're in one of those other countries, it's not
You're
that
limited.
case.
You don't even have the
It's not that
opportunities.
case.
you're doing what your family's telling
It's
you to
not.
do too. I mean, you don't believe how
No.
the family
Structure is.
the structure. Yeah, like I said, it's
High school baseball in Korea, they have their own. They live in a different place than everybody else.
Yeah, they're taking away.
High school. Let's just say music in general. You ain't just running around and say, "Hey, we're gonna get this music group together." No, you are living in a house, and they are putting your groups together. They're putting your groups together, and then you go out.
So they structure your group.
Absolutely.
Not like in
yeah.
America.
you don't have the freedom, man. You don't have the freedom.
No, there's no freedom. No, there's not. Because they bring that here, guys. So like when you grow up as an Asian American here, guess what you're doing? It's like you gotta be straight A's, you're learning an instrument, you're doing all the extracurriculars, you're doing all that stuff throughout high school. And they don't care, don't talk to your American friend. Like and don't listen to them and what they're doing because you can't bring that shit home.
I just
You can't bring that shit. It doesn't
That's weird.
It doesn't
because
work
that's
that
how
way.
They look at like the Africans that come over here.
Yeah.
Right.
Don't do like them.
Right.
That's already over there.
Right.
Because we're going to be doctors, lawyers, Indian chiefs.
Right.
That's it.
We're not going to be janitors,
Right.
street sweepers, and things like that.
Right.
And that's weird. That
I'm half Filipino. All of my Filipino side, nurses, doctors. That's it. That's all they are.
like
3
Nigeria,
weeks ago, I
Philippines.
did a podcast for the most popular Korean player right now. He's not playing anymore, but he just retired, had his retirement. And Lee Dae-ho, this dude, he was first baseman, came over here and played for Seattle and stuff like that. But on the podcast, he wanted to talk about that. He wanted to talk about the difference in the culture and how when I came over there, like all of a sudden, they're able to, I'm bringing them into the office and we're talking about other things other than baseball. And, you treated us like equals. And he goes, it didn't matter if it was me or the worst guy on the team, you treated us all the same. He says, we made it to the playoffs for the first time and we had a champagne party after the game. And he goes, nobody's ever done that. They don't do that here. They don't celebrate that. The only person that gets to celebrate is whoever wins the championship. Right? I said, no, you got to celebrate every little success, man.
It's part of the
that's
journey.
how you make better.
The journey, man. Enjoy the journey.
Back to the journey.
The journey is what makes the whole season, the whole ride, no matter if you get there or not, fulfilling because you're growing. You know what I mean? The journey is more important than the end accolade because that's how you're gonna grow. That's how you're gonna become who you are, and that's what people are gonna see every single day. And with that, what start saying here? Because I want to say thank you for being part of.
Thanks for having me. No,
Episode
seriously.
15. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I see you every day anyway, but thanks for
having me.
Thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
Been outstanding, James.
Hey, man, God
What a
bless
pleasure.
you, man. I'm
Right.
so happy
All you guys.
to be in your life, be a part of your friendship. But we have a saying here, and this time I'm going to make him say it.
No, I want you to say because you
You
know
want me to say it?
You got this,
Say it.
James. This is you.
We
Say it.
build dreams, and we break chains.
Building
You-
dreams.
And breaking chains.
Building
And
dreams.
you are a chain breaker and a dream builder.
Thanks,
So,
guys.
we are happy to have you here.
Well,
And
no, I ain't
God
doing
bless
all
you.
that. I ain't doing all that. He
All
doing.
right.
Goodbye.
Oh, man.
Bye.
Leave
You'll be
James
back.
alone.
You'll be back.
Real pleasure.
I ain't doing all that. I
No,
thought
that was great.
I thought he was coming to give away at his wedding or something.
All right.